So for me, it's pretty simple, right? Customers are the end. Like we have to serve them, we have to keep them happy. But the $1 million or maybe $1 billion question to ask is that how? Who gonna do it? Of course, the employees. So if we don't keep employees satisfied, we will never achieve customer satisfaction.
Hello and welcome to FaceTime with Leaders, a podcast series by Directors Institute, World Council of Directors. I'm Sunny Pancholi, and today we have a guest whose expertise in global operations, process excellence, and a large scale transformation has shaped industries and redefined leadership. With over 21 years of experience, Mr. Anurag Talukdar has led mission critical operations across healthcare, finance, telecom, and clinical research, driving innovation, streamlining processes, and managing transitions involving thousands of professionals worldwide. As a Lean Six Sigma Master Black Belt and Global Transformation Leader, he has spearheaded initiatives that have not only optimized efficiency, but also delivered multi-million dollar impacts. Whether it's navigating complex transitions, implementing AI driven automation, or leading sustainability projects, his ability to turn strategy into execution has earned him recognition on a global scale. This is going to be a powerful conversation filled with practical takeaways, leadership wisdom, and industry changing insights. So, Mr. Talukdar, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Sunny. Thanks for the great introduction, and I'm delighted to be here.
Great to hear that. All right, so to kick things off, Mr. Talukdar, transformation is at the heart of everything you do. Whether it's optimizing global operations, driving large scale transitions, or leading high performing teams across industries. But before the titles, accolades, and leadership roles, there was a starting point, right? A moment that set everything in motion. So, looking back, what first sparked your interest in operations and transformation?
I think there'll be three moments precisely. Okay, this is not just one moment.
Okay.
So, moment number one is I started my career in sales, and I worked into few sales organization before I did my MBA. And when I was in sales role, I used to go and meet, and I was in B2B business. I'll go and meet the business customers. We'll commit a date of delivery of a product or service, and most of the times those products and services used to reach to the client, but sometimes they were missed out. And that caused a lot of frustration for me and for my team as well as the client. And I just used to wonder what's really happened because I was working for a great organization. Why are we missing the timeline? Why does it dip in quality? Because being in sales, we are on the front end, we are facing the client, but we really don't know what's happening in the back end. Yes, we have a high level overview of, yeah, this is the process involving, but I never knew the nitty gritty. So it was easy for me to blame, but somewhere something in me really said, "Hey, it's not so easy. I'm just committing something on behalf of my organization to the client." But what really happened after that? Okay, that is something that really interested me. Then when I did my MBA, I did my MBA in human resource management and marketing. In human resource management, we had a topic called change management, and I love that topic. And there was a model by Kurt Lewin, which is basically change model, very simple model, unfreezing. You have to shake up the organization, then you make the actual change, and then again you refreeze, and it's a perpetual motion. So I had worked around 2 years before I've done my MBA, and I knew, hey, this is something I could relate to, and that really sparked an interest. Like, hey, is it that change and operation, they go hand in hand? And when I say operation, it's an ongoing operation. And moment number three is when I was working in United Nations organizations project in Shillong in Meghalaya. I got a small newspaper clipping that there will be a Six Sigma training in Guwahati, which is like 100 kilometers away from Shillong. And it was a yellow belt training, not a big deal. But I really wanted to be part of it. So I went and spoke to my boss saying that I want to attend this training. And he said, but it's very far. But I don't care. Like, I really want to be part of this. So I went and I attended it. And because I already had learned few of the terms and terminologies in my MBA days, and the professors out there, and it was a training conducted by Indian Statistical Institute, Bangalore. So they had traveled all the way to Guwahati and did the training. They said, hey, you have the kind of spark, you have the kind of a gel to learn more about Six Sigma. Why don't you come and do a green belt or black belt? These three are the pivotal moment that really shaped me who I am right now, because I should have stayed in sales. I was doing pretty okay, to be very honest, but these three were defining moments, right? Like, where I thought that maybe I am more suited towards operation. Maybe I am more suited to make sure that whatever our sales teams are committing, can we ensure that the operations becomes an ally, a partner, and deliver the best outcome to the sales team and earn more profitability, more customer satisfaction by, being a very, very alert and very, very focused on whatever commitments the sales team is making on our behalf.
Amazing, amazing, Mr. Talukdar. That's such a fascinating story. And it's always inspiring to hear how certain moments can set the foundation for a career in leadership.
Thank you. Sure.
So, Mr. Talukdar, leading a transition is always complex. We all know that. But doing so during a global pandemic, when uncertainty was at its peak and businesses were facing unprecedented challenges, must have been an entirely different level of pressure. So, successfully handling transitions involving 400 plus FTEs in such turbulent times required not just strategy but resilience, of course, adaptability, and strong leadership. So, can you take us through how you managed to execute these transitions seamlessly?
Actually, the pandemic, I was part of two organizations. So when the pandemic started till probably August 2020, I was part of another organization. In August, I joined another organization. Both of them had a very unique challenges. The first organization is a major BPO player, and they were operating full time from office. There was no concept of work from home. And the COVID came out of the blue, and we are forced to work from home. And I was part of the leadership team in that organization. And so the major focus was, how do we ensure continuity of the service? It is not about transition, it's much more. It is about transitioning from office to home. And I think that was the biggest challenge of my life. I had a team of around 200 people that time reporting to me. All of them are quality, transaction quality specialists, and few individual contributors, mostly from change management and other departments. But mostly how we ensure that they actually transition from office to home seamlessly and there is no hiccup. Now, it was not easy, to be very honest, because there was a stringent lockdown and the memories are still fresh. And we had to coordinate with our facility team, we had to coordinate with the district administration, we had to coordinate with police, ensure that the vehicles are reaching to the correct address, ensure all the equipments are leaving, because it's not just you lifting and shifting. Every role had a different IT specification. You cannot ship them like a bulk item. So very, very precise planning was involved. There were hiccups, but we never gave up. So probably 1 month after the lockdown is imposed, we were seamlessly working from home. And it actually changed the entire belief system in me and many of the leaders that, hey, till that time, we always believe office is the place to work from. You cannot work from home, right? Work from is only reserved for C-suite people, like people at CXO level. But
Right.
now pandemic actually taught us we can actually work from home, and we did fairly well. So that was challenge number one. Challenge number two, when I joined my next organization in 2020 August, the problem was the other side, that they had already transitioned, everyone was working from home, but there was a dip in employee engagement, because till that time, I'm talking about 2020. Everyone is working from home. Even the leaders are used to seeing people face to face, give feedback. Okay. Employee engagement, everything happen in office. How do you involve employees? How do you enhance the employee engagement scale when they're completely at remote? So there's a challenge thrown to me saying that what can we do? So this is a challenge that was very, very novel to me also, and I actually tried to understand what can be done. So I came up with some gamification framework where we said that, hey, for every employee engagement, and there are different categories of them, we'll allocate uh, points. And then, based on what kind of engagement is it within a team, is it across the department, or is it at the overall India level? The points will vary. And then we started assigning points to employees. If they come and present something, okay, maybe a small paper, they get something. If they present something related to, leadership, management, they get some point. And then we roll these points at a supervisor level. We roll this up points at a department level, and also we roll this up at the business unit level. And then to normalize and to be fair, because the sizes of departments vary. Some departments can be 10 people, some department can be 1,000. So it is not fair. So we summed up all the points and we divided it by total number of headcount in each team. So initially the response was not so great. People were saying, "What is this? Like, what is trying to do?" Then, I always believe change always come from top. No matter how much we try from, you know, motivating the employees, even if they are motivated, without leadership support, nothing will change. So I lobbied very hard to ensure that the top leaders of the organization see the benefit in that. Some of them knew the benefit instantly even before I spoke. Some of them were skeptical, but eventually everyone agreed to it. And by October 2020, we started this initiative. And I'm so pleased to say that, it was an instant hit, not only in India, but even the people from other part of the world took a notice of it. And they have invited me to present it in a CXO level seminar. I did that. And so having said that, these were about, transition within the organization. But coming to your question, transition, suppose we are transitioning something from a different country to India, when none of the employees are working at office, trainers are not there, trainers are also remote based. How we ensure that the knowledge transfer is effective? How do we ensure that that process training is effective? So this was not an easy task. So we actually created something called a Gamba. Gamba is nothing but go and see in Japanese terminology. So Gamba is very easy when you have people in the shop floor. But how do you do a virtual Gamba? So we came up with a concept called virtual Gamba or virtual, floor walk, and we created a comprehensive framework to understand how we ensure how much time it takes to transfer knowledge now that people are not in office, they are at home. So we had to give some buffer. We had to set the expectation. We had to tell the stakeholders times have changed. It's middle of a pandemic. Don't expect that the process will be transition in too much time. Give us 3 months time. So we started with negotiating with all the stakeholders. Then when it came to employees, we had to ensure that they have the best of the productivity. Yes, they had broadband, but how do we ensure that they had, in case the broadband, there is a power cut at that point of time? How you ensure they have it? So we encourage them to get a MiFi device. MiFi devices are small devices that comes with internet connectivity, and they can last for hours. So it's basically they work in 4G or 5G depending on the configuration. So we actually gave the best of the infrastructure. We actually ensured that we engagement with employees should go up in the time of crisis. That is a one major finding from our side, that no matter what happens, it's a crisis. Yes, there are the healthcare across the world, but we as a leader have to be visible at those moments, and we have to ensure that we acknowledge the difficulties employees are facing, acknowledge the difficulties the trainers are facing, and we don't have to boss around them. We have to be a servant leader. We have to go and resolve the differences. So that really worked well. And our team has actually grown in pandemic. So what we probably doubled up after the pandemic. And it clearly shows that pandemic was a blessing in disguise for those who can actually see the benefit in them. I'm sorry, I may come little bad, but I'm not talking about the life's loss, but I'm talking about unique opportunity that it provided to change the business landscape. So, yeah, to answer your question, it was all about involving the stakeholders and making sure the leaders don't boss around, but leaders become a partner in learning, become a partner in resolving the roadblocks. Thanks.
It's truly, truly impressive, Mr. Talukdar. Managing a transition of that scale during such a turbulent time required not just strategic planning, but also a deep understanding of people and resilience in leadership.
Sure, absolutely.
All right. So moving ahead, Mr. Talukdar, in today's fast-paced and highly competitive business landscape, customer satisfaction and employee satisfaction are no longer just performance metrics. They are the backbone of a successful organization. So a motivated workforce directly impacts customer experience and a satisfied customer-driven long-term business growth. So with your extensive experience in operations and transformation, how do you strike the right balance between enhancing customer satisfaction and ensuring employees feel valued, engaged and empowered?
So for me, it's pretty simple, right? Customers are the end. Like we have to serve them, we have to keep them happy. But the million dollar or maybe billion dollar question to ask is that how? Who gonna do it? Of course, the employees. So if we don't keep employees satisfied, we will never achieve customer satisfaction. So for me, it's my personal choice, and this is what I have fully adhered to my in my entire 21 years of career, is that employees come first, because if we treat them right, they will take care of the customer. So it always starts with employees. And also one more thing, being a leader, I may not know all the expectation of all the clients, and it's equally important whether you are in retail organization or whether you are in an organization that serves to only B2B. Irrespective of that, a leader will never know all the customers and will never understand all their aspirations, all their requirements. It is the employees who do it. So unless and until we give a opportunity to employees to come and state their finding to the leadership, then only leadership can build a strategy by partnering with the employees. So first thing is that have an open channel with employees, treat them with respect, and they will definitely respect not just the leadership, but definitely they'll take care of the employees, of the customers, sorry. So that's one. The second one is that customer satisfaction is probably a Pandora's box. Okay. Like even 1 hour won't be sufficient to talk about it. But the thing is that we have to stay in constant touch with customer, try to understand what we are doing right and what we are not doing right. And some customers will probably have suggestions for you, some really don't care. So there is not, one unique solution for everyone. No, I think for every different customer, even for every employee, it will differ. So being a leader, I think we have to be flexible. And there is a tendency among leaders that, hey, I have made a rule and will follow it for everyone. Doesn't work this way. We'll have to have multiple rules. Yes, we cannot have different rules for each customers. That may be a little difficult, but having said that, I think we have to be flexible, we have to be agile, and that is the direction the world is going on. And that's why you see the word nowadays, agile framework, agile organization being thought about. So to summarize the answer, I think employees first, so that they are empowered and they are motivated to take care of customers. And for customers, we have to stay agile. Thanks.
That's such a powerful perspective, Mr. Talukdar. It's clear that when employees feel valued and engaged, it naturally reflects in the customer experience, of course.
Thanks. Absolutely. Thanks.
Yeah. All right. So, Mr. Talukdar, reducing 1 lakh kgs of carbon footprint annually is a remarkable achievement
Mhm.
that showcases the power of sustainable transformation. So, in your experience, how can businesses integrate eco-friendly practices into operations, without compromising efficiency and profitability? And what steps can leaders take to embed sustainability as a core business strategy rather than just a compliance goal?
Oh, it's a very good question. Thanks for asking that. Okay, so I have been a great advocate about the green energy, about sustainability, and it all started in early in my career. I did mention that I was part of United Nations organization project that was actually focusing on rural sustainability. It was about livelihood sustainability, but it has small component about environment sustainability also. And I'm talking about the year 2006. So it's almost like 20 years. But things have changed a lot now. Now we have found that, sustainability, environmental sustainability is a key phrase, not just in government, but also in corporates. And now that we talk about ESG, we talk about triple bottom line. So these jargons have made way. I'm pretty sure people at CXO level, they know about it. So it's high time that this message is passed to all the employees. And I think we are taking small baby step across the world in the right direction. Many programs, educational program has been launched by the companies, at least the big companies, MNCs. They have e-learning modules which they encourage people to complete it. But I think the major transformation will come when we have KPIs in this regard. Like, if we have metrics in this regard, and these metrics should be something that people could relate to. Now, I found it very, very difficult to understand what does 112,000 kgs of carbon mean. I am a layman, right? I am not living and breathing, carbon emission reduction day in, day out. So it's difficult for me to comprehend. So I tried to understand how we can communicate this metric in a way that a layman can understand. So I understood that, a typical tree, a grown-up tree, can absorb around 22 kgs of carbon. So numbers vary depending on whom you ask. Somewhere between 20 to 25 kgs of carbon, one single tree can absorb a year. So
Yeah.
if you're talking about 100, for the sake of calculation, let's say we are talking about 100,000 kgs of carbon dioxide are emitted, and now we have reduced it, eliminated that. So you do the simple mathematics, comes to around close to 5,000 trees. So that means,
Exactly.
we have probably avoided, okay, growing 5,000 trees, which were necessary to absorb this many carbon dioxide. So it is easy for people to understand. Now people can visualize, hey, okay, 5,000 tree is pretty big. How big is a 5,000 tree? Oh, it's much bigger than a large tree. So to give a perspective, I think the New York Central Park has close to 10,000 trees. So it's like half of New York, right? Half of New York Central Park. So I may be a little off in the number, but I'm giving an example. So give metric in a way that people can understand. So the problem in today's corporate world is that, we are creating metric which are very, very specific to that initiative only. But if we want to broaden the initiative, the KPI should be not just key process indicator, they should be keep people involved. So how we do that, right? So you cannot create metrics which are difficult to even imagine. Even I can understand what is, 110,000 thousand kgs of carbon dioxide. Moment I convert it to trees, I think people can understand it. That motivates them. So now coming to your question, what should we do about sustainability? I think leadership owes it big time, not just to our company but to the planet Earth, because it's the only home we have. So the first thing we should do is do an energy audit. Like every organization, how much energy we are consuming. It's not just the office. You have entire supply chain. Okay, you have your entire supply chain starting from customer to your warehouse. Okay, and from your factory. So end to end, what is the energy you are consuming? Find an opportunity at each and every step where you can reduce the energy requirement. Because to be very honest, this is what I have learned. Energy is equal to carbon as of now, because we have not moved to fully solar, right? And the day we move to solar, the things may change. But currently, every unit of energy that we can consume will probably reduce the carbon footprint that we have in the that we are living on this planet. That's number one. Number two is that, empower the employees. Now it sounds very cliche because that's what everyone has been saying, but believe me, this sustainability is just one of the other initiative that we are driving. Yes, it is a buzzword, but who's going to drive it? I don't think the leaders will drive it. Ultimately, employees have to own it if it has to be successful. So we have to pass the baton to employees by empowering them. And I think we have already started giving training across the industries. We are empowering, we are training. Now, trusting them. Create a ecosystem that empowers employees to come up with, unique solution, how they can reduce the carbon footprint. And then recognize them. So it's not that, a carbon footprint reduction may not yield a dollar benefit. It may or may not. Okay. But in the end, not everything is about dollar. And in this regard, I think, even the board and independent directors play a vital role where they have to ensure that, it's not just about dollars, it's not just about rupee, it's about, carbon also. So the messaging has to be consistent, and the day the employees see they are getting recognized, they're getting involved, I think we will reach a tipping point from where I think the ideas will just explode. Thanks.
That's truly inspiring, Mr. Talukdar. It's clear that sustainability isn't just about compliance, it's about creating long term value for businesses and the planet.
Sure, absolutely. Thanks.
So, with over 21 years of experience driving global operations, transformations, and process excellence, your impact has been remarkable, Mr. Talukdar. Uh, but as you look ahead, what are your next big aspirations, both in your career and in the broader business landscape? Also, the part B of the question is, do you see yourself stepping into boardroom roles, influencing corporate strategy and shaping decision making at the highest level?
Yes, this is precisely what I aspire for. So I have more than 21 years of experience now, and I have been part of many of the multinational companies, and I have been part of one level below board. So that is the next level I want to be. And am I capable of that? Absolutely. And I think that is where, this entire ecosystem, that why I'm part of this conversation right now. So WCD comes there right into it. So I want to equip myself with the knowledge that will enable me to transition to the next level as a member of the board. Now, whether it will be independent director or executive director, that all depends on how the future unfolds. But for me right now is to gain the knowledge and be prepared how I can prep up my knowledge, how I can be more confident, and how I can be aware of what are the nitty gritties that are involved when we are transitioning from outside the board and to the inside the boardroom. So yeah, I'm fully excited, and that will be my next step in my career.
Okay, great. So let's talk about corporate governance then. And in today's rapidly evolving business landscape, obviously, corporate governance is more than just compliance. It's the foundation of ethical leadership, risk management, and long term sustainability. So, with your extensive experience in global operations and transformation, how do you see the role of corporate governance evolving? And what key governance principles should organizations prioritize to drive transparency, accountability, and strategic growth?
Oh, great question. I think the role of independent directors have never been more critical than now because of two factors. First, I think the rapid assimilation of AI into all the businesses. Now, AI is a wonderful tool. Okay, it actually empowers even smaller organizations to scale up rapidly, and also it allows probably non-existing firm to come, and so basically it has reduced the entry barrier. So any firm can enter the ecosystem and can totally change the industry overnight. Recently, something happened. I will not take the name. A Chinese company came and totally wiped out
Absolutely,
the
yeah.
US stock market across the world. So we are just saying that AI is causing havoc. So what it will mean in coming days is that, the lifespan of an organization will reduce, okay, because of AI. Why? Because earlier organization used to survive for decades because there was an entry barrier. With AI, the entry barrier is eliminated. Now, if you are part of a successful organization, you can't be complacent. You have to be aware of what's happening on the organization across the environment, not organization, across the environment. So a constant scanning of the external environment, a constant scanning of the internal organization is also required. And that is where independent directors will have to play a massive role. And there is no other way about it. The onus will lie equally on both the executive board as well as independent directors. They have to be constantly aware of what's happening and highlight the risks that evolving both externally and internally. And I'll focus more on internal part. AI is a wonderful tool, but it can also be a weapon of self-inflicted damage. Unregulated AI can invite, regulation challenges. It can invite scrutiny. It can even invite a kind of a court case by the government itself. So this is where, the role of independent director will have to be ruthless when dealing with AI because it's a boon, no doubt about it. It's a massive boon, but it's just a flip away from becoming a curse. So creating an ethical framework to ensure that AI doesn't go rogue as far as possible, and there are no vested interest within the organizations by the employees, by the other members of the board to take advantage of the system. So AI is one of the things that will redefine the future. It's already defining our current time itself, and the independent directors will have to play a massive role. The other one is the rise of crypto. I think that is something that will eventually happen. Yeah, government across the world are trying to delay it, but it's inevitable. So it's just another extension of AI. The financial framework will change once crypto finds more and more acceptance across the world. I think the entire financial system will change. The board and especially independent directors will have to understand more about the new financial evolution that's happening across the world, how the market will behave to it, and they have to learn all these new terminologies. They have to understand all the mechanisms. The way the transfers happen, that will change. So I think both AI and crypto are redefining the world. They're redefining the industries, and it is up to the board members to ensure that they become a guardian of holding the ethics right. They have to be a watchdog, and also they have to constantly evolve themselves. So it's a battle that they have to go through every day, because the rate of change has increased proportionately, and anyone who is not up to the mark, be it the organization or be it a single individual as a independent board of director, they will lose it. So it's a battle that we cannot afford to lose, and we have to stay motivated, and we have to ensure that we keep winning. So yeah, that's the answer I had to offer.
That's really a valuable perspective, Mr. Talukdar. Corporate governance isn't just about policies, it's about shaping responsible leadership, quote unquote, responsible leadership, and ensuring that business operate with integrity and long term vision.
Absolutely, absolutely, sure.
Okay, so that brings us to the last question of the podcast, and here it is. What motivated you to join Directors Institute, and how has the experience added value to your perspective on corporate governance, leadership, and boardroom decision making?
Okay, to be very honest, I got this focused, ads on Facebook from Director Institute from probably 8, 9 months ago. I was really tempted to join that point of time, but I was not sure whether I should or not. Like, there's always a doubt in my mind. So recently, one of my colleagues, she actually suggested me that why don't you join it? Maybe it will be a next logical step in your career. Once a colleague comes and says something to you, you take it more seriously. So I think I owe it to my colleague that, and I'm very happy. In fact, I'm very recently joined it. So I'm yet to give my full time to this. I have completed few modules, not all. And the best part is that, the entire ecosystem that the Director Institute is providing, right from the day I joined, the first webinar, and immediately I joined, I think I got my books. Within a matter of days, the books are lying next to me right now. The best part is that, being a working professional, I don't get much time to go and attend classes in a physical means. So the best solution is that when it happens virtually, I can pace it according to my own convenience. So that's number one. Number two is that, I have heard, and not part of it, that there will also be a WhatsApp group where people like me will be added. And then I have seen the videos, just how I'm doing FaceTime. I've seen the FaceTime videos, and that really motivated me, that they create a WhatsApp community of people like me aspiring to be directors, and there are people who are already independent directors, they are part of them. So that ecosystem is important. Like at mid 40, it is difficult to stay motivated in a goal that you're not paid for, right? So I'm trying to be an independent director. I'm not getting paid for it. Okay, I already have a full-time job, I have a family. um, so I think having a like-minded set of people who are always encouraging, okay, and kudos to all the staff whom I have interacted so far from Director Institute. They are very, very supportive, and I think they are just a phone call away. I ping them, they call me back, and they follow up. Have the issue been resolved? So that way, I'm quite happy, and I think I have made the right choice. So glad that I joined Director Institute.
Great to hear that, Mr. Talukdar. And it's always inspiring to see how platforms like Directors Institute provide leaders with the tools and knowledge that navigate governance and boardroom leadership effectively.
Absolutely. Thanks.
So let me tell you, Mr. Talukdar, this conversation has been truly insightful. From navigating large-scale transformations and driving operational excellence to championing sustainability and governance, your leadership journey is nothing short of inspiring, truly.
Thank you, Sunny. So that was a great, thanks for inviting me. And I love this interaction. And some of the questions I was not prepared for. so, so, so I tried my best to answer. Hope others who are watching this will find them meaningful, and probably they will also find it, motivational to start their own journey towards independent director. So thank you for that.
Absolutely, Mr. Talukdar. And it's been an absolute pleasure having you on FaceTime with Leaders. And I'm sure our listeners have gained tremendous takeaways from your experience. So we look forward to seeing you continue to shape industries, drive change, and lead with vision. Thank you for joining us and wishing you even greater success ahead.
Thank you, Sunny. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.